every time somebody asks to go see Muck doing something, we're just gonna have to look at Ben instead. Can blame that one on him. All right, looks like teams both ready. Oh, let's kick it off. Okay.
Oh. Here we go.
Hey.
No,
Nope.
if
Slight false start.
they're gonna slash ready. All right.
Alright, now here we go.
Here we go.
Classic late night Sunday match.
Yeah. You have 4 members of United States and Zanada immediately starting in the main lane.
Ooh, and contra
Means
that is swirling.
Swirling, who gets voided immediately.
Means he gets a TNT.
Yeah, Ben.
He gets voided. He gets voided with it.
Ooh, we got void laned with
Ooh.
it. Ben is immediately moving into the resource area in the ISO lane. He didn't grab anything from the main lane. Passed around before that, just immediately spawned into the ISO lane.
This does make sense, I think. He already has the gold pick, and he's just gonna make himself a stone pick.
2 members of the United States and New Zanada in the first house here. We do have Hive jumping down into the first resource area, following, I think this is Muck. Yep, Muck into their first resources. Muck is the first to the cannon supplies. Looks like he might be setting up a cannon to get those from the side of the United States of New Zanada. Buggy is bugging out in the house, and that is that cannon. Looks like it hit perfectly there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's not going to be frustrating at all. Ben has been breaking through some snow and ice here before dropping down towards the red ledges, the resource area. Doesn't have any cobblestone on him. Don't know if there's a stone pick or anything that he can grab, so I don't believe he'll actually be able to get any of the iron here. So I'm not positive what his plan is, unless he's just going to grab resources and go. Is opting to... Oh, that's an interesting passer. Okay. So there's a stone pick in that chest, and by making it a double chest, you can actually reach around in the void to grab it. That's very interesting.
Yeah, and it just looks like both teams are just going to play it slow here. No one's going to be moving too far down the map at the moment. Uplum and Cuggy just dueling it out at the spawn still.
I'd agree with you, except Mini's all the way in Blue Goose Hollow right now, gathering the resources from there. So it looks like the United States and New Zanada have moved pretty far forward down the lane.
Yeah, and Mini's actually done this pretty quickly, and no one else on Ooga Booga has even come close to there. Their furthest advanced player is still at the first bridge area.
Holy cow.
Chiller Frost just entered the ISO resources for UNS.
But he's dealing with some mobs real fast here, but he did grab resources the normal way, but Ben is going to have an angle on him, and Ben could have an iron pickaxe or something crafted by now. He doesn't yet.
He's going to set up a cannon there as well.
Yep.
To get the TNT supplies.
Yeah, we've seen how effective these cannons can be from, of course, the polio game yesterday, Zach. I'm sure you weren't having a great time with those, but we saw from the stream that it basically shut down the polio early game. That's what the Booga are trying to do here as well now.
He does get those.
That was courtesy of me, though.
He was shot. So the entities that are actually on the ground are going to be able to be grabbed by Greg if he goes fast enough. Of course, he is under pressure from the surface of the Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol. We've Swirl and PvPing him. Across from him is Mini in half diamond, half iron, and Buggy as well. Looks like Uplum was setting up some poke holes, just to shoot down either at those resources or the main lane of first. Looks like Greg is slowly going to grab the iron. He's actually not too far behind Ben, and the fact that Ben keeps dying here is really going to put the advantage that Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol initially had kind of just slow it down a bit.
Yeah, Greg able to collect the iron, but he still hasn't made any progress towards grabbing the brewing supply entities. So he might need to get a move onto that before Ben can come back and pressure him.
Yeah, Muck has continued to go back into the resources after blowing up the cannon supplies on the side of the United States and New Zanada. Hive is opposing him in those resources. It looks like there was a cannon for some of the diamonds, I believe, as well as the cannon for the TNT supplies. So Hive only has 4 diamonds from the 4 diamond ore there. It shouldn't be.
Mini's actually returned from second resources now. He's in half diamond and iron, and he's able to come back to pressure the rest of Ooga Booga.
See if Ben is able to, if the side of the United States and New Zanada is able to take out Ben in these resources again. But Greg is just slowly making his way through, and he, truth be told, will be able to get these TNT supplies pretty easily. I'm not positive what Hive had on him before he voided there, but he had their resources.
I think it was an unintentional voiding as well, seeing as he respawns to the main lane.
It could be he just jumped off the map for food. It's possible that that is something that happened. He did drop off some of the resources, but he might have actually gotten shot off by Muck on the opposing side while trying to pass around that first resource stuff into the ISO lane. That could...
It also looks like Ben's back in resources now, so him and Greg are going to have a little fight here over getting out with those resources.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Greg is actually in a better spot than Ben, having mined the diamond already. He's gonna get the TNT and the brewing supplies here because those entities weren't blown up. So Ben's cannon actually didn't really do a whole lot. Actually, I take that back.
That death definitely
no, I take
that back.
back.
He did get one of the iron blocks, I believe.
He also got...
No, it didn't. It only got the brewing stand.
It got the brewing stand, which is
Which,
actually impactful.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very hard to run third ISO without potions.
Yep. And there
Definitely
is
doable, but very hard.
There is the ability to get those to get a blaze rod in third ISO itself, but you basically have to be at the end of it if I remember correctly. So it's not as useful. Where'd a cannon? I don't know what that cannon.
Yeah, the cannon is in the first house. It's Muck just
Ah.
making sure that they don't have the spawn supplies.
Yeah.
And same as yesterday, the spawn supplies can be quite lacking on this map. Most of it is concentrated in that first house. So this is actually a pretty good denial for Ooga Booga.
Yeah, Muck needs to get rid of the stake entities that are on the ground here, and then the United States and New Zanada. Yep, that's basically all of the food on the map for United States and New Zanada gone.
Yeah.
And most of the arrows even.
Yeah, it's very concentrated at the start here. Greg has crafted up half iron, half diamond before Ben is even able to get to the diamond block here. So
I'm not sure what...
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm not sure what Ben is doing because he entered those resources way earlier, so I'm sure he forgot something and had to run back.
He was killed by Greg, I believe.
Yeah, he was killed
so
twice by Greg.
Alright.
I believe that the thing that really slowed him down was building that cannon, actually.
Greg just lava'd in first ISO, so that's gonna make them running a little easier.
We do have Muck cannoning even more things here, making the tree disappear on the side of USNZ. Getting the power bow on top of the tree as well, or the planks on top of the tree there as well with that shot. It's going to make things a little bit more difficult.
Swirlin also, I believe, just finished second resources in the ravine, a second wool, and he has full iron now. I'm not sure whether diamonds might have gone.
May have. No, it does look like he collected those. It might be...
He's gonna give them to Muck so he gets full diamond.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. That's a good idea. They do have a really safe path built here towards the Victory Monument. Looks like Swirlin might actually be going to go grab those diamonds underneath the house on top of third. Has a name, but I've forgotten it. It's Icy Ape's Retreat, maybe?
Ooh, Maddie's going to be upset with us for not remembering those names.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Maddie Sue.
Yeah, it looks like Ooga Booga is just prioritizing making sure they have a nice safe tunnel and path up and down the lane. Because it can be quite tough on such a narrow map to actually get up and down if you start dying a lot.
It does look like Ben is collecting blocks. I'm not positive what he's going to start with those. He might be looking to make a run on the Screaming Rapids here. Or he might be just collecting blocks to go towards third with. Greg in the tree area here collecting some more resources for himself. Probably just going to be collecting a bunch of blocks to go run the Actually, it looks like he might be moving for the ISO lane portion of first, because they've already... Oh, it's a bat that has spawned on the pressure plate. I've been trolled.
Sometimes it do be like that.
I believe
Swirlin
Muck-
has set his bed actually at the Victory Monument now, so it looks like they might be making a play for third at some point soon.
Be interesting if he opted to do that right now. It doesn't really give him a whole lot, or his team a whole lot of advantage for him to be over here for an extended period of time, unless he's going to go grab those diamonds, which it looks like he's going to go do that now.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason you would have a solo player at third at the moment.
Yep. Especially with no one having started or moved towards third ISO, the red halls.
Yeah, we saw third ISO can be pretty tough to run.
Yeah, it's going to be even tougher for UNS or USNZ now that they don't have brewing supplies. We have Greg and Minnie doing a bit of a pass around back on the back side of the lane here, giving Minnie the cannon supplies. We'll see if Greg's given any resources himself.
They're probably going to start second soon. Meanwhile, Swirlin is mining the diamonds over at third resources.
Yeah, I think Ooga Booga will definitely be looking to start second very quickly because Muck now is full diamond.
Full
so,
diamond.
Muck usually likes to run second main and then just go out, so it's easier for him to run it the second time around.
Sure. Yeah, I imagine that Ben will probably want to move. I actually lost Ben. He's still just
Ben
collecting
is,
resources. He might.
yeah.
He's crafting. He's brewing potions. Got 2 crafting tables. Plenty of places to craft for him there.
Yeah, there's going to be a natural lull in the game for a while now that both teams have got their resources and are just kind of setting up the map for how they want to run these wolves.
Muck
Muck's starting second now.
He's into around the first bend of the not so isolated ballad. He's actually in a really bad spot here. He took a lot of arrow fire and got caught on that ladder, but luckily he was able to get back in.
Yeah, Uplum currently the only person actually able to cover him.
Yeah, we actually see Greg starting the isolated portion of the not so isolated ballad from the side of the USNZ, making his way down there. Muck is going to be able to put pressure on him as long as Muck isn't being pressured himself. Important to note that, yeah, there are 2 members of USNZ opposing him. I've getting voided again. I'm not positive where.
It was for a pass around in first resources.
Okay.
Double chest.
That makes
now,
sense.
now he's collecting it, I believe, to run one of the ISO first.
That would be a good idea. They've spawned a lot of mobs, actually, in the ISO portion of first. Could make their lives a bit.
USNC are both starting. They're starting both main and second, an ISO of second right now. So
this is definitely kind of the more conventional way to run second. I think is the dual run because you can support each other, and it's a lot harder to shoot 2 people running a PvP pool than just 1 person.
Yeah, and Minnie's matching Muck in progress now, so Muck running this first, it'll be impactful if Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol can manage to stop USNZ from getting one of the wolves later on down the line, but might not be super great if he's relegated to sitting near the
Uplum cannoning right now.
It's a good cannon. He was aiming for
cannon.
He was aiming for Greg here. I believe he actually took out some doors that Greg was using as cover.
These verticals are a big target for cannons.
Let's see, how many arrows does Muck actually have? Muck only has 2 stacks of arrows, which
that should definitely be plenty for him to get through.
You would think that, but with how much stopping to shoot he's having to do, might not actually be enough. But we do. I
think part of the reason he's stopping to shoot is that he is the only person currently running second. So...
He's actually not. Ben is in the isolated portion of it.
Oh, he has started it.
I feel like Ooga Booga are going to outpace here by a lot, seeing as their PvPers have much better armor than the side of USNC, so they're gonna be winning that bow fight for sure.
Yeah, they also have they should have a bit of a TNT advantage because they were able to get the first
Right
set.
as I say that though, Uplum dies. So.
Yeah, it looks like Swirling grabbing the diamonds at third is gonna pay off here because he's able to just out muscle the USNC PvPers with his armor advantage.
Hive is running first ISO right now. Actually, he's gonna run this unopposed. That doesn't mean that we have a 3v4. Oh, he's actually not unopposed.
He gets spotted now.
We have some long shots from Swirlin, who's also in full diamond. He's moving back. So we'll have a 3v3 over second and a 1v1 in first. This is actually a really bad situation for Hive here. It's gonna be a bit of a struggle to get through this wall with somebody aiming down at him.
I don't know. I personally feel like this is good for USNC because their full diamond PvPer is moving down to shoot at first, which means there's only going to be one PvPer covering for them at second. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
I agree. I think that the big advantage that Ooga Booga still has is just that Muck's in full diamond, so he's able to run through things significantly faster than the side of USNZ. Greg almost dying. Barely.
Oh, and Cuggy getting creepered.
Ooh, it was on surface. Yeah, this lane is not very well lit up. Actually, neither team's lane is very well lit.
No.
He didn't have anything good on him though, so he's gonna be able to retrieve that stuff pretty easily, I think, as well.
Yeah, it does. It does allow the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol a little bit of a reprieve. The cannon didn't quite.
In cannon right now, he might die.
Didn't quite cook for long enough on that shot. This should be good. That's gonna get
dies.
Oh, and there goes Greg and Cuggy getting taken out.
That's all of his stuff too, because
the
the first shot, the first cannon TNT blew him up, and the second one blew up his entities. That's actually
that is a huge win for Ooga Booga right there.
Yeah, that is really
a nice cannon.
Really bad. Yeah, super good cannon there from Uplum. Perfect timing and everything. That's really bad from the for the side of USNZ though.
Yeah, and just like the choices that the teams have made, while both of them have tried to dual run second, while Hive was trying to run first, no one from Ooga Booga was actually running first ISO. Both Swirlin and Uplum were helping their second wall runners, while Hive was attempting to go through first ISO, and I believe he's still in there. Yeah, he's still in there.
Still trapped in there. The interesting thing to note, I mean, so it would have been good from the side of USNZ if they were able to use the tempo from having an extra player above second earlier on to actually make progress, meaningful progress in the wall. But I think Muck actually starting the wall that much earlier granted Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol a lot of pressure. They were able to slow down the two members of USNZ that were running the wall enough.
They bought time for Swirlin to come back.
Yeah, they bought time for Swirlin to come back. They bought time for Ben to get in, and Ben almost dying there, but I guess good cover put down by Muck and Uplum stopped anyone from USNZ being able to pop the shot that would actually kill him there. He was right at the wall box when he would have died.
They're
as well.
both wall boxes now, so they're gonna get the pass around.
There you go.
Yep,
there's a bunch of lime wall. That's the first touch. Buggy getting taken out again on surface. He's having a
so rough
go
for
of it.
him.
Yeah, he's having to PvP in almost nothing against Uplum, who is in pretty good armor. I mean, he doesn't have a helmet, but the change.
And really, Cuggy's like being forced to position himself at the first button essentially, so that he's able to make sure that Hive is going to collect the wool. But just Hive is having a lot of issues because Swirlin's still pressuring him in first ISO.
Ben is trying to pass items to Muck through the void, but the items are going just barely too far, and Muck actually has to step forward into the door in order to grab them at all.
Hive is going right now?
Yeah. Hive is really struggling here. He's constantly spawning mobs while he's dug in, and every time he pokes his head out, Swirlin's popping shots at him.
Yeah. He is on the back side of the lane. We'll see if, I mean,
There's gonna be a cannon right now. He might die to this cannon.
Ooh, just barely. That needs to be like
cannon,
a...
bro.
Oh, that was
Great
a dry
cannon.
Oh, no, it's not dry. I'm dumb. No, that is dry. Oh, he's placing the water out. Yeah. Really good cannon for him.
I don't think it's gonna hit because of the bedrock ledge. But...
No, he needs to drop it a few blocks lower and then it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Not to mention the amount of water there is going to make the timing very, very difficult.
He is going down right now, so he might get a better angle to cannon from.
Greg is smelting some iron ore there, so he can actually re-gear with iron. Taken out, that doesn't really matter for him because he wasn't going to do anything until he got iron armor anyways, so not super bad. Although there is a zombie carrying the armor that he had previously. Or that, actually this was Buggy's armor previously, I believe.
Yeah, and then Ben and Muck are just making their way out of the wool now slowly.
Yeah.
It shouldn't prove too difficult.
No, they should be fairly uncontested actually at this point because the side of USNZ has to re-gear themselves. It's just going to be slow for them to get out. We'll see if Ben drops a pass around here. I think it would be intelligent for him to when he has a moment, just drop a pass around so that they have the wool out for sure.
I think this is really bad for USNC because they have one of their wool runners in second still stuck there right now. Since
Yeah.
he has to wait for his teammate to get back. So
Yeah, essentially USNZ have 2 wool runners currently stranded because they're solo running it. Hive is stuck in first, and Mini is still stuck in second, and not a whole lot that they can do about it because Greg, of course, lost all his gear, and Cuggy's just getting absolutely dominated by Swirlin.
It's important to note that Mini is doing his best to slow the progress back out of the wool here, but it's going to be very hard for one person to stop 2 people from running this wool out, since both of their members have the wool. It looks like we should be seeing Muck getting out first, followed very shortly by Ben.
Uplum there to cover him as well right now, so...
Yeah.
Yep. I was maybe expecting a pass around Dublin, but nope, they're just saying we don't even need it. We're safe out of the wool pretty much.
It'll be interesting to see if Hive wants to door across the entire back here, or if he wants to try and actually dig his way out.
He's definitely gonna run it. I just think he's just waiting for his opportunity.
I don't know if he's going to get one of those. Silverfish have been going into the blocks on the back of the lane too, so each time Swirlin shoots one of them, if he doesn't kill it, he's able to spawn more, break more blocks on the back side of the lane as well.
Yeah, I think Hive is not in a great position, but he's also not in an absolutely terrible position. He's definitely basically past the wool box now, and he's just waiting for an opening, maybe for his team to pull Swirlin away for 30 seconds so he can make it up that final stretch.
Yeah, he does need a bit of cover. We do have Buggy in the spawning area for that first wool, shooting back out, so it looks like Hive's going to be making a move soon. He's going to have some real troubles getting out of there.
I feel like they might try to cannon Kagi here at main.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That would be actually a very intelligent play because it not only kills Cuggy, but it'll keep Hive stranded for as long as possible.
Yeah, and I'm not positive if Ben's going to be making a move out of second right now. He might just stay in to oppose Mini on the other side, which might not be the best use of their time, but since they already have the wool, there's not too much of a reason for him to make his way all the way out while there's still a member stranded on the side of USNZ inside of that wool.
I believe he wants to leave. He's just getting locked down right now. He usually runs third ISO, so he needs to get out of this wool.
So yeah, we definitely see a overwhelming advantage really for Ooga Booga right now, having second done and basically resetting USNZ's progress on second.
Mini's actually making his way out of this wool.
Yeah. I like this decision from Ben. He's currently, instead of trying to run out, he's trying to shoot at both Hive and Minzy, trying to leave the wool.
Yeah.
Oh,
what do you think, Zach? That was close. What do you think, Zach? What's USNZ's kind of path to come back here? They need to find a secondary lockdown point or a secondary PvP point, right, to make sure that they can buy time for their wool runners to catch up to what Ooga Booga have.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not sure. I can't open inventory, so I can't see if they have any TNT supplies. But if they do, then trying to lock down third ISO is their best bet for sure.
I believe they actually don't have. You might need op for that.
I don't know if you do. That was a really good cannon. The cannon finally hitting from Uplum here.
Yeah, I mean, these cannons are extra dangerous because the blocks at the back of the lane are being silverfished out. So any cannon could send Hive into the void.
Yeah, Hive managed to make it almost entirely to the wool box actually. Oh, just quite too long.
Okay, so Muck just most likely pass himself stuff around. He's gonna run third ISO with full diamond.
Yeah, I imagine.
He's picking up his stuff and he's going to run third ISO.
I imagined that was what they were going to switch to as soon as Ben was having some troubles getting out.
Yeah. And just to update you on the TNT situation for USNZ, Mini does have a stack of TNT on him in half diamond, so they might have to just make a play for third, it seems.
Yeah, so there's actually lava sources in third ISO that you can, if you shoot some blocks out with cannons, you can actually spread the lava and make that wall very hard to run.
Yeah.
So if they manage to do that and lock them at third, that's their only chance at coming back at this. But they're like down in armor. Like each player is down in armor, so I don't know if they're able to do anything.
They
here.
are really
Yeah.
focused on first here, though, I think. While the
It
side
just
of-
really seems like USNZ are down in pretty much every category, not only just armor, but in TNT supplies, and just general supplies, and wool progress, and even in their positioning of their players, they still have one player stuck in first ISO, and just pretty much unable to get him out.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the only path that USNZ had to victory once Greg died inside of second ISO was to actually pull someone to go run the beginning of third ISO and maybe the entire wool, so they actually had a lockdown point inside the wool.
I think we also should remember that the diamond resources below the victory monument are still there, so that could be a potential way back for them to just get more armor going, but that's kind of a long way away, and I don't think they can really afford anyone going to get that at the moment.
Yeah, with Hive locked inside of a wool here, they don't have the players to be able to do that, but I think they kind of need to do that in order to have a chance, really.
No, I agree. I feel, Hive making a run for it. He
makes it safely.
They might cannon him though. It's not safe yet.
He just decided to spam blocks and wall run there.
Yeah, he should have done it a lot earlier.
Already there.
Yeah, I think that him waiting for as long as he did really hosed his team there. I mean,
yeah,
I imagine that he didn't think that he had an opportunity to get out there, but wasted a long time in that wall and needs to now get back out as well.
Yeah, so hear me out here. I feel like if Hive Raven wasn't sitting there for so long, they could have probably grabbed the resources over third, like Kagi mentioned. But
I agree.
But yeah, right now Mini is actually going over to third, and he was the one with the cannon supply, so I believe he's going to do a TNT lockdown at third.
Like yeah, I think USNZ were just sort of panicked a little bit after Greg died, and Hive clearly feeling the pressure from both Swirlin and Uplum, just maybe not confident that he could make it all the way to the wool box without getting shot out.
Muck is almost into the PvE section here of third ISO.
Where did Ben die?
Ben died in first ISO.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
His items aren't there.
So yeah, it was a creeper that blew up, so they could have blown up his stuff as well. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference.
Unlikely that his stuff was blown up, considering it's water, but it might have gotten voided.
Okay. Right now, Muck is starting third ISO for their team. He has a strength pot, so he is able to one-hit all the mobs.
Yep, chugged that strength pot earlier.
Mini is setting up cannons right now, together with the Kagi, to lock this wall down. But seeing as they were a bit late and Muck has strength, I don't think they're gonna be able to do much here.
Yeah, Muck's
Muck just blazing through.
Yeah, he's made progress past where the cannons are being set up at, so unless the plan is to stop both a pass around and Muck from getting out of the wall, it's gonna be kind of difficult here. And the extra mobs that they're spawning are gonna make Greg's life once he actually gets into this wall a lot harder here.
Yeah, and we know that
oh, Muck voided!
Oh!
Okay, well
that's
really
a full set of diamond gone.
Yeah,
and with Ben's potentially armor gone as well, this might be interesting now.
Well, the thing is that Swirlin has full diamond on him, so he's gonna drop that to Muck most likely, but that means they lose some of their PvP pressure since he's gonna have worse armor PvPing.
Important to note, Ben did not lose his armor. He has it on himself again, so he's making his way back through the rapids here in the ISO lane for first.
Yeah, Swirlin just passed around his armor to Muck, like I said.
We'll see
so he's gonna make another attempt.
See if Muck saved some strength pots or anything, because he won't have strength pots now, so it'll be a little bit more difficult. Greg opting to go over the lava with some doors, as opposed to Muck, who just obsidianized the bottom and placed torches to make sure that there was no obsidian that he had to dig. Uplum's in a pretty good spot to shoot at Greg as well here, with two members of USNZ that were above third abandoning it to back, possibly to pressure somewhere else or possibly to re-gear.
Yeah, and it does seem that USNZ for the time being have given up on second, recognizing that they were at a pretty significant disadvantage and weren't going to be able to make any progress. And they've shifted the action over to third, both with bull running and their lockdown, just to try to claw their way back in the game and delay Ooga Booga for as long as possible.
Hive making his way down lane now after having collected his stuff. It's interesting because his armor is fairly low on durability. His helmet only has 43 durability left. That's going to break pretty soon, but Ben is at the collection point for the red wool here. We'll see when... I assume that Swirlin or somebody is going to drop down to actually press that button pretty soon here. Muck, maybe.
Swirlin is at the spawn section, or at the victory monument, so it doesn't seem likely that he'll be doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing Muck, since he did die, will probably just hop down and hit the button.
He is in full diamond, so he'll have to pass that around once he wants to jump back into the ISO lane. But they might actually just let Ben run the ISO lane portion now.
Yeah, no, they're giving that wool up. I think they're gonna just focus on third ISO. They have 3 people over here right now for USNC, so they're probably gonna cannon or something.
Yeah, Ben doing the proper version of the strat we saw yesterday from Manifest Destiny, placing the block under the water so the wool will actually flow out of the world.
So no controversy here.
Nope.
And saving the admin some headache.
Saving himself some headache, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Buggy has received the armor that Hive had previously, and Hive's in partial leather, or in a chain chest plate with a leather hat. I think he might be going to go run third main here pretty soon, because I believe Greg is still... Yeah, it looks like Greg isn't making any progress himself past the lava section here of third ISO. He hasn't.
Yeah, like we said at the beginning, the lack of strength cost is really going to hurt him here in terms of speed.
Yeah, he's going to have to go a lot slower, and just given the amount of mobs that spawn in this wool, it's going to actually be significantly more difficult. It's not something that's just slower, it's something that's a lot harder because of how many spawners there are in this wool.
Ben just passes stuff around in first ISO and is going to main lane now, and Muck just passed himself his armor and he's gonna make another attempt at running third ISO.
Okay, that makes sense. And yeah,
so it looks like both teams are going to run third ISO at the same time, so we'll see how that works out.
Yep, and Ben is currently at the button for first, but he is gonna get shot by Cuggy, so
he actually was very lucky there. He almost died to his creeper, but the creeper fell past the bedrock. Mini passing his stuff around into the ISO lane.
Does Cuggy have any TNT on him?
He does not. I believe all the TNT was with Mini at third.
I believe it would have had to have been with... I don't know, actually, where the heck...
Oh, Cuggy does have a stack of TNT, so it appears they did manage to get the TNT from the end of the map as well.
Yeah, so he might try to cannon at first to mess with the water source. Gives them the wool at first.
Cuggy's moved down towards third now as well. I think trying to stop this first run is probably not a good use of USNZ's time, given that they really are full committing to third at this point.
Yeah, they have to do that.
It really is just a matter of time and not really a realistic full lockdown point, I think.
Muck is running without strength, like we were unsure about earlier, so he's back at where he died the last time.
Yeah, he made a lot of progress through and managed to get some torches down, which actually slowed the spawns meaningfully enough that he was able to get back to where he was voided previously.
Being a lot more careful this time around.
Yeah, hopefully for the side of the Pajama Patrol, he doesn't get voided here again. Of course,
yeah, but it's very strange for USNZ that they've kind of not even noticed, but they've been very slow to the uptake to try to stop Muck here, and Muck is basically at the end of the wool with just one vertical left.
Bucky is back in here. It's interesting that they didn't decide to fire off some of the cannons. Well, I guess they decided not to fire off any of the cannons they had pre-built, so as to not take out any spawners once Muck voided, but Muck was able to just get back up to the wool box, like, for free.
And Muck's just already at the wool box. I mean, the USNZ just really didn't react fast enough to this, I think. Kind of fall a little bit.
Swirlin was able to run the main lane portion of that pretty free. So he just has to go in and press the button here, which will be very quickly, very shortly pressed. I'm pretty sure the only way that anything bad happens here to Muck is if he gets voided by a blaze or a skeleton on the way out. But
At this point, it doesn't really even matter. They just need to complete the victory run. They
Well-
have a first wool now.
They're cannoning. Misses.
Muck,
Yeah.
Muck managed to get a water source placed in line with where that cannon was, but it didn't quite, didn't look like it was at the angle that Buggy had wanted.
A sort of this light.
Oh, and Kuggy, while trying to set up a dry cannon for third, was taken out by, was being shot at by Ben. So his dry cannon ended up just killing himself.
Yeah, it looks
Ben
like,
does have first wool on him now as well, so it really is just a matter of getting Swirlin back out and Ben up to the monument.
well, Swirlin doesn't have, like, Muck hasn't been able to pass the wool around quite yet. He has to deal with one blaze, and now he's going to be able to pass that around to
This
Swirlin.
pass around is very safe, of course. Almost impossible. Like George was saying, the only real way would be to get void by a blaze.
Yeah, and third main is, if you have blocks, it's very simple to get back out of, but
Yep.
like Swirlin might not have those. I don't
That would
remember when
be
Swirlin
interesting.
died, but
Muck is
he-
running out. Get shot in the lava. No.
Swirlin doesn't have blocks, so he isn't going to be able to get
all of
out
Swirlin's stuff
here.
actually fell down below, and he managed to save himself from falling into the void. But
One option is to have Muck just pass him wool
it's-
constantly, but that's
it's not gonna matter. 'cause
probably not the
Muck's-
best way.
Muck is
I
like
think it's gonna
7
be game
blocks
here,
from
to be
getting
honest.
out. Yeah.
They have all 3 wolves, right?
Yep. As long as Muck or
Ben-
Swirlin can get back
Oh,
out. it'll be
Swirlin
fine.
did manage to die again, but he was trying to grab his stuff because he did block save his stuff.
Ben going to DM right now with the wolves, most likely.
I don't believe Ben has yellow on him currently, but he will have the
Well,
ability to place the other.
Swirlin's
There is
coming up.
a pass around right below the victory monument.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. He does not have yellow yet, but Muck's on his way out, so I think Muck will pass his stuff around.
And there's a
Ben
yellow
just making
safety.
sure that it's safe.
There's a yellow safety that they're trying to pick up right now as well.
Mhm.
Oh, yep. Yeah, Ben can dig down to that.
And Ben just playing it super safe, watering the monument. Swirlin
Was
coming
able
out
to
get his
safety.
stuff back.
Yep. So this
He's
should
coming
be
out to the safety.
Yep, there's the safety.
the game fairly short early here. Now we'll see if Swirlin wants this place, or if Ben wants it. Ben attempting to boosto. There we go. Good boosto from Ben. And in the game, a whole fraction of a second faster. That's the game.
Yep, that is the game.
Good game.
Yeah,
Well fought
Very
by
good
both
game.
teams.
definitely. I think a couple mistakes by Ooga Booga did allow USNZ briefly back into the game at third, but I think for the entire game, almost USNZ were just a step behind Ooga Booga.